Taurus, 2026 is not a year that announces itself loudly. It does not arrive with chaos or sudden upheaval on the surface. Yet make no mistake, nothing about this year is passive. What changes now happens quietly at first, behind the scenes, in places you usually keep private, even from yourself. This is a year of internal realignment that slowly but decisively reshapes your outer life. You are not being asked to rush, force change, or abandon your sense of stability overnight. Instead, life begins gently loosening what has become rigid, asking you to release attachments that no longer support your growth, so something more solid and authentic can replace them. From the very beginning of the year, there is a sense that something is shifting beneath the surface. At the end of January, Neptune enters Aries and moves into the most hidden sector of your chart. This is not a visible transit, but it is a powerful one. Old fears, unconscious habits, emotional patterns, and unresolved memories begin to rise into awareness. You may feel more introspective, more sensitive, or more aware of subtle emotional and energetic drains that you once ignored. For a sign like Taurus, which values consistency and predictability, this can feel unsettling. Yet Neptune's role here is not to destabilize you. It is to dissolve what has been quietly controlling you from the shadows. This is a period of inner cleansing. Attachments you did not realize were still influencing your choices begin to lose their grip. You may feel called to retreat, reflect, or spend more time alone. Dreams become more vivid. Intuition becomes louder. At times, clarity feels elusive, and answers do not arrive on your usual timeline. But this is intentional. You are learning to let go without needing immediate certainty. You are learning to trust processes you cannot see yet. In February, Saturn follows Neptune into Aries, reinforcing this inward focus. Where Neptune softens, Saturn stabilizes. Saturn asks you to confront what you have been avoiding internally, not through emotion, but through responsibility. This can feel heavy, as if you are carrying emotional weight that no one else notices. You may feel more tired than usual, more in need of rest, solitude, and stronger boundaries. For Taurus, this is not weakness, this is preparation. Saturn here is clearing psychological clutter accumulated over years. Old guilt, fears of loss, and subconscious patterns around security are brought into focus so they can be addressed properly. The work you do now is invisible to the outside world, but it is essential. This is the kind of inner restructuring that prevents future crises. You are quietly building resilience from the inside out. As this internal work deepens, the first eclipse of the year arrives in February with an annular solar eclipse in Aquarius, shifting attention toward your career and public life. Even though much of your year is inward, this eclipse makes it clear that your outer direction cannot remain unchanged. A professional goal, role, or long-term ambition begins to shift. You may realize that a path you were committed to no longer reflects who you are becoming, or a new responsibility appears that alters your trajectory. For Taurus, this can feel destabilizing at first. You value consistency and long-term planning. Yet this eclipse asks you to redefine success on your own terms, not based on expectations imposed by others or outdated definitions of stability. What begins changing here may take time to fully unfold, but it sets a new long-term direction that is more aligned with your evolving values. In early March, a total lunar eclipse in Virgo follows, and the focus turns toward joy, creativity, love, and emotional fulfillment. Something reaches completion. A romantic chapter, creative project, or source of pleasure comes to a turning point. You see clearly what no longer brings satisfaction and what truly nourishes you. This is an important realization for Taurus because you are learning that comfort alone is not enough. Fulfillment requires engagement, passion, and emotional presence. This eclipse reminds you that pleasure and meaning are not indulgences, they are essential for balance. You are invited to invest your energy where it genuinely feeds your spirit, rather than where it simply feels familiar. As the year continues, a major shift finally arrives that you have been preparing for over a long period. By the end of April, Uranus leaves your sign, ending a 7-year cycle of personal disruption and reinvention. This alone brings a sense of relief. The constant feeling of unpredictability around your identity, body, and life direction begins to fade. You feel more grounded in yourself again. Uranus then enters Gemini, and the focus turns toward finances, resources, and self-worth. Your relationship with money and material security starts evolving rapidly. New ways of earning, spending, or valuing yourself emerge, sometimes unexpectedly. Old financial habits are disrupted, not to take stability away from you, but to help you build something more adaptable and future-proof. You may realize that true security doesn't come from holding on to rigid systems, but from flexibility and skill. By mid-year, the energy softens and expands when Jupiter enters Leo. Growth arrives through your personal life, family matters, and emotional foundations. You may improve your living situation, expand your home, or reconnect with family in a meaningful way. Emotional security becomes a source of strength again. Jupiter here reminds you that stability is not only material, it is emotional. Feeling safe within yourself becomes just as important as external structure. This period brings warmth and support. After months of internal work, you begin to feel held by life again. There is a sense that you are rebuilding from a healthier foundation. In August, the energy turns inward once more with a total solar eclipse in Leo. This eclipse resets your relationship with home, family, and emotional roots. A new chapter begins in your private life. This could involve a move, a change in family dynamics, or a deeper realization of what you truly need to feel grounded. You are asked to create a life that supports your heart, not just your obligations. Toward the end of August, a partial lunar eclipse in Pisces closes the eclipse cycle by reshaping your social world. Friendships, group affiliations, and long-term dreams come to a turning point. You step away from a community that no longer resonates, or a shared vision dissolves naturally. This is not loss, this is alignment. You gain clarity about who truly belongs in your future and who was only meant to accompany you for a certain phase. By the end of 2026, Taurus, you understand that this year was never about dramatic change. It was about quiet strength. You learned that real stability is built not by holding on at all costs, but by knowing when to release, adjust, and rebuild. The foundations you reshape now are stronger, more honest, and capable of supporting you for many years to come.